Hi, my name is Matthew Hughes. I'm currently standing in my kitchen. The reason for that is that every other room in my house actually managed to look worse than my kitchen, so here I am. Here to talk about the sources that I've used to varying levels of success over the course of this semester. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm not reading from a script, so I'm going to do this by winging it. I hope you enjoy. The first source I'm talking about is Miranda Morris. Miranda is the manager at KUSF, and I've known her for a number of years as a DJ working there. I would go to her first as a source because she has a lot of knowledge about the running of the station, the history of the station, and the future of what college radio might look like. Dorothy Kidd is who I went to second, and I would personally recommend you do that as well. She was there as part of the faculty during the sale of the station and was a key part of the efforts to save the radio license. Now, she also has a lot of knowledge about radio stations as a whole across the country, as well as certain media theories that kind of contributed to the sale of the station. Steve Runyon. Now, Steve is the closest thing KUSF could call a father, and he's actually a bit tough to get a hold of. I finally managed to talk to him through a mutual introduction by Professor Robertson, so I would suggest you do the same. And he actually spoke to me over lunch. Now, the lunch was delicious, and he had a lot to say. I would suggest going to him after you talk to the first two, because he's almost a sort of secret history of KUSF. That's what he has. And so I would learn that after I would learn the regular history of KUSF, which Miranda Morris and Professor Kidd would be more than happy to relate to you. Now, the fourth person I talked to was probably the most stressful person, and you're going to hear his name come up fairly often during any discussions of KUSF. This is Father Stephen Prevet. Now, he was the president of the school during the time of the sale, and he was, if there was a villain of the story, it could possibly be said to be him. Now, I spoke to him near the end of the semester. I kind of wish I had spoke to him a little earlier. I would suggest you do that, but before you do, I would suggest that you research as much as possible. You need to be able to have quotes that you can back up and, all of those things, because he will stick to certain party lines and, tell you to kind of source your quotes. So make sure to do that. Now, the last three people were actually a little more like background information. Ben Fong Torres was a writer, is a writer for the SF Chronicle, Rolling Stone, and also a DJ a radio DJ at SF. So he has been working in the Bay Area for 40 years now. He's since the 60s at least. And he has a lot of knowledge about the music culture at the time of KUSF's kind of heyday, its golden age during the 80s and the early 90s. And so talk to him to kind of learn the context that KUSF existed in. Jennifer Waits is a writer for RadioSurvivor.com. I believe she's one of its founders, and also the founder and editor of SpinningIndie.com. She's also a DJ over at a college radio station, I believe, in Foothill. And so she was one of the people who covered the sale of the station, and so she has a lot of knowledge about who the major players were, what went down, and also if you actually Google the KUSF station sale, you'll probably find her articles near the top. She covered the initial shutdown, the ongoing community meeting, the efforts to save the station. She covered all of it. Finally, we have Professor Michael Leonard, or Edward Michael Leonard. My apologies. He is he wasn't actually there at the school during the shutdown or the sale, but he does have a lot of knowledge on the actual law and policy behind the behind what was he has a lot of knowledge on the laws that made the sale possible. Go to him when you want to learn about the Telecommunications Act of 1996 and the effects it had on the radio industry, as well as other laws that concern the FCC and its relationship to college radio. So there are multiple people, there are way more people to talk to than just these 7, but these are the people that I talked to, and I found a lot of success with them. I hope you do too.